1993, a friend and I wanted to climb Kilimanjaro. I completely failed by getting sick even before we started. But never give up. 29 years later, we were back in Moshi, together with another friend. We opted for the Rongai route on the north side of Kilimanjaro. Our plan was to hike on the first day to Simba camp, then continue to Kikalewa, and to trek to Mawenzi at 4,300 meters on day 3, a longer walk than during the previous days. Next was the easy crossing to Kibuhat, only 400 meters higher in elevation. There, we planned to start very early on day 5 to climb via Gilman's Point to Kilimanjaro summit, which is called Uhuru Peak and reaches 5,895 meters. We met middle of June in Moshi. Together with our 2 guides and a group of porters, we drove to the Rongai gate and enjoyed the easy walk through lush green forest to Simba camp at 2,800 meters. The next day was equally relaxing, since we only had to cover an additional 800 meters of elevation to reach Kikalewa camp. We were greeted by thick fog in the late afternoon, but enjoyed a magnificent sunrise the next morning. Route to Mawenzi camp, we could feel the altitude for the first time as we gradually ascended to 4,300 meters over a distance of 9 kilometers. Although the Rongai route is said to be less scenic than other routes on Kilimanjaro, I really enjoyed the views during the walk, and of course the scenic location of the camp itself at a small lake below Mawenzi Peak. High and sleep low, as the old mountaineer saying goes. So in the afternoon we slowly hiked up Mawenzi Ridge behind camp for additional acclimatization. It made for some easy scrambling, and soon we could leave the afternoon clouds below us. Day 4 began with another beautiful sunrise above the clouds, followed by an easy day since the elevation gain was only 400 meters to Kibuhat.
I wonder if you'd stay If you knew the things I've kept away, I wonder what you'll do.
It was very comfy in the sun, crossing the high desert plateau between Mawenzi Peak and Kilimanjaro.
You never really knew just how terribly I needed you. You were nowhere to be found. I was falling fast into...
Summit day started at midnight, and for around 20 trekkers it meant pule pule, as the guides always advise, meaning slowly, slowly in Swahili. Soon I moved ahead while the guides stayed with my two friends. It was full moon and the weather was perfect, making for easy route finding and some great long exposure photography as I tried to capture the faint glow of climbers' headlamps below. After around 2 hours, I reached Gilman's Point at 5,685 meters. "45 minutes later, at around 3 a.m., I topped out at Uhuru Peak, the so-called Roof of Africa, at 5,895 meters. There was nobody else in sight, and I had the view of the full moon illuminating the Diamond Glacier all for myself while pacing around the summit to keep warm, as I wanted to wait for my friends. At around 5 a.m., the headlamps of some other climbers came into view. I walked down to meet them and climbed up to the summit again to warm up. Sunrise was spectacular, as was the moon setting on the other side of the mountain and the shade of the summit cone slowly building up and disappearing again. After sunrise, I walked down for a short distance again and soon met my first friend and later my second one, who was suffering from the altitude quite a bit. It was great to be with them when they reached the highest mountain thus far in their life. After a short while on the summit, we walked back from Uhuru Peak to Gilman's Point, being slowed down by the altitude. From Gilman's Point, it was a quick descent of around 1,000 meters back to Kibo Hut, gliding down the scree slope. All of us felt re-energized and walked for another 12 kilometers to Horombo Hut, located at 3,600 meters. Last day, we enjoyed the increasingly denser vegetation and even some wildlife as we walked the final 19 kilometers to the Marangu Gate and then drove back to Moshi. While I would rate Kilimanjaro not as a climb but as an easy hike, it was a very enjoyable one due to the fantastic landscape, much better than I had expected.
Peace we pray.